Hiya guys, and welcome back to Wade's Workshop. Well, it's been a little while, 2-3 weeks, and as I said in a previous video, I was going back to work. I have been coming home from work and being that tired, because I'm getting on a bit, you know, that I just literally haven't had the energy to get in the workshop. So I've been forced into this a little bit because I've got a little job to do for one of my colleagues actually. I've got to make a little adapter up. They bought this online. It was the wrong size. I mean, the outside thread, as you can see here, is correct. The inside thread, which looks about 12mm metric, something like that, is way too small. It's got a 24mm by 1.5 right hand thread on the inside. Now I could, well, obviously 24 is bigger than this boss. I can machine all this off, drill it out, correct tapping size, screw cut it 24mm by 1.5. I haven't got that tap, but that would leave a very, very thin wall, probably about this thickness, or a thin amount of thread, probably be one thread in it, so that's no good. So we have to make a complete new one. So I'm going to have a quick look, set up a piece of aluminium, turn the diameters and what have you for a flat version of this. I'm not going to bore the inside out, it's not necessary, and that will give me enough thickness of the M24 by 1.5. So yeah, it's basically a single slug with a flange. This thread, whatever it is, I'm going to have to measure it up, and M24 by 1.5, I think it is on my little note, right-handed thread up through the middle, and it'll be through the full thickness of this, so there'll be enough threads. So let's jump to the lathe and get on with it. Well, first thing, I found a slug of alley, appropriate size. Hang on, let's just show demonstration. Yeah, that would have made, more than big enough to make the outside part. Measured up the inside, it's 28mm. So yeah, there's a word for that, begins with B and ends in D. It doesn't work. Right, okay. So another chunk of alley. Again, this one was supplied by a viewer. It's had a previous life again. It's got a bit of stuff going on that end. This end, nothing. Yeah, more than enough material there for what I want, and there's no hole through the bore. So this is what we're going to put up in the chuck. We'll get on with it. So I got the piece of alley up in the lathe. Again, I've had to use reverse jaws, so it's not the most rigid. It's only holding on the little 6mm intersection on the back here. So yeah, first thing, face off this chunk on the front, because we don't want that, because we want a fairly flat face. Yeah, I could probably drill it out, but yeah, okay, so face it off flat, and we're going to have a look at the diameter of this thread and sort that out. We're going to have a look at this major diameter, but the first thing we're going to do is turn it to this major diameter after facing the front. Well, as most of you know, my little bearing tool doubles up with a DTI, so let's just push this into true. That's better, so it's running true. Tighten up the chuck now. Well, it's not running perfect, but it is probably 200 or 300% better than it was. So, I got the wrong tip in here. I got a tip for steel, the general use tip. And we're going to face this off. Works alright. Not as good as the specialist tips for aluminium. This is a good quality alley, this. Not the usual sort of extruded cheap stuff that I use. And I can get away with using sort of general carbide tips with this material, as long as I'm fairly harsh with it, I think the word is. What was that? Something fell over behind me. At least I know it wasn't my camera, because it's still there looking at the job. I think it was the calipers off the bench. Not to worry. Okay, so we pretty much faced that off. So we'll have a quick squint. What was it that fell on the floor? Oh, no, don't worry, it wasn't anything important. Just a little switch from a project I'm doing. So let's find the calipers. And I'm looking for an OD of, well, it says 44.1. It's going to be 44 mil. And this is 60 odd, I believe. 57. So I'm going to touch on that, just stood still. I know I need 13 mil off the OD. So I'm going to take 6 mil aside. I'm going to set my DRO. Hold on, let's just get rid of that swirl. Let's just screw it up first. In fact, I've had a change of thought. When the machine is down to 2 mil, I'm going to turn it round in the chuck. Been a bit harsh with this tip. The lathe doesn't like this tip at all. It produces too much load on the lathe. That'll do. I'm just going to do a scratch pass. Finish is absolutely fine, but I will be changing that tip before we do our next try with that. Just going to put a chamfer on there, and I think what we'll do is turn it around in the chuck so that I'm back hard against the back face of the jaws, just to give me a bit more rigidity. And I bottomed out my jaws, so that plan went out the window. So these things happen. Right, so how is it looking? Wobbling back like a bugger again. There you go, no worries. You know, it's one of those things, you make it up as you go along. You think, oh, it'd be a good idea, turn it around, get it back hard against the jaws, and you got no chance. So whatever. Get the centering tool again. Bump it back into somewhere near square. Tighten the chuck up again. Right, I think I'm going to change this tip back to a proper tip for aluminium. So we'll bring you back in a second. So, because I've been messing about with this, just going to scratch past this face again. No need to go any further than that because it's going to have a big hole in it. Right, let's have a go at roughing this. I'm going to take a big roughing pass back about 20 mil. See how we get on. Let's have a bit more speed. I'm hand feeding it. Now that's to remove all the load that I had earlier. The motor of the lathe has a lot more power when you've got a sharp, keen edge with a very positive rake, as this tool for aluminium has. I think I need to tension my belt a little, as I am getting a bit of slip. Yeah, I do need to tension it. And that's enough, but I am going to be passing this off, so give myself a bit more. You can see it stalling out, or hear it probably. And I'm taking about 4mm of side off here. Whoop. Yeah, asking too much. So we'll get rid of this big pile of swarf. We'll turn the truck off a minute. We'll have a quick measure. 51 mil, and I was looking for 44. So there's 6 mil at least to come off. I'll set my DRO to 0. I'm going to take 3 mil. Set the wrong axis. 2 seconds. Right. 3 mil aside off. Might be a bit harsh. Let's try 2. And same again. Let's just hack this material away. Running at about 700 RPM. Oop. Apart from when I stall it out. Proper roughing out this. I know I'm not doing the belt any favours. Let's get rid of that again. Let's have another measure. 47.8. So 44 I was looking for. I'm going to go 1 mil aside. He likes that far better. That'll be 45.8. Come over there, get that out of the way. I've got to grab my pliers. Right, I'm going to go 1/2 mil aside. Just getting rid of material here, guys. Okay. Where is my pliers? Let's find it. Well, my pliers is eluding me at the present, so let's get rid of this swarf out the way. Right, okay. So where are we? We're getting close now. 44.6 or 0.59, and we were looking for a nominal 44. So 0.3 aside. I'm going to take 0.2 and then a final 0.1. Hand feeding. I'm going to take 0.05. We'll have another measure. We're 44.02. We'll call that it. I'm just going to set a 0 there for the 44. Okay, so I need to know what diameter it is across the threads. So let's have a quick measure. That is measuring 39.96. So it's M40. So I'm just over 44. 2 mil aside over a distance of, well, that's showing 9 mil. So I'll just touch on the front. There, set myself a 0. I know I need to go back -2 on the DRO over a distance of 9. So I'm already 0.75. I'm going to go to about 8.8. 8.9, there we go. Nearly there. Small problem again. Oop. Come on, out you come. I'll set it there. Just have a quick look at that diameter. I'll reset as 0. Should be about 0.8 over size. 40.78. What was I aiming at? And again 40. Yeah. So roughly 0.4 aside. It's 0.2 aside. Three aside, creep down on it in 0.1 cuts, and 0.4. So that's going to be a nominal 40 millimeters. Right, I'm just going to face back to the 9mm and face the back face. So hopefully that's going to be roughly 40mm, 39.89, that'll be fine. Distance back should be 9.03. Okay, so there's the shoulder that replicates the thread to that shoulder. There's a big undercut in here. It's quite deep, so I can probably do it with this tool. Looking at it, yes I can. So yeah, we're going to replicate the undercut for the thread to run out into. So I'm going to go replicated the undercut in there. Whoop. Yeah, that's good. So a little chamfer on the front as a lead in for screw cutting. That should do it. Okay, so M24 up the chuff by 1.5 pitch. So I'm going to bore it out now. Well, I drill it, bore it to the basically the root size for M24 by 1.5. Looking at my old Zeus book at 1.5 pitch threads. Pitch 1.5 M10 standard in course. Right, tap and drill 8.5, so 1.5 under size. So if I'm looking for M24 by 1.5, I want to be 1.5 millimeters under size. So that would be 22.5 mil, 1.5 mil under 24. So I need to drill and bore it now to a suitable depth of 22.5. So 10 mil spotting drill. It's a bit of an irregular hole already in it. Myself a nice true start hole, there we go, and I'll probably put something like a 19mm drill straight in from there. Shall I? Yeah, let's do it. You haven't used it till you've abused it. 19mm spot. I'll put a 19mm drill straight in, probably by the depth of what I've turned down by this amount, maybe an extra 10mm, something like that. So checking out a little 14.5 I'm going to go in about 25 mil from when I hit the square part of the drill. Right. That's 6 mil. $13. $22, $23, $24, $25. There we go. So that's that drill in, 25 mil. I don't usually grab swarf with my fingers, guys. This is aluminium. I have stopped the chuck. So yeah, I'm just going to pull all this aluminium out the way. And if you're working with steel, don't grab it in your fingers. I know I'm showing bad practice here. Yeah, this is a rush job. I need to get it done this evening, overnight. Never mind if it's a rush job, you should always do things properly. I know. So that was a 14.5 drill. Let me just show. MT3 taper. Was it 14.5? Yes, it was. So next drill in, I'm going to go 19, which is that one. I'm sure I've used all these drills before. Yeah, 19 mil again. Yeah, it's been used before on aluminium. Here we go. Not very clean. I should have put it away a bit cleaner than that. Slow proceedings down a touch. You need some more WD-40 in my bottle. Get it to the point of the drill. 19 turns. I don't know why I said 19 turns then, it was 25 turns. I was thinking 19 for 19 diameter. Right, so that's in. I've drilled that in there. Again, excuse my fingers. It's not swarf, for my hands are made of leather. So, get rid of that drill and up with a boring bar, and we're going to bore it out to 22.5 millimeters diameter. So obviously I haven't got an M40 die, and if I did have, I probably wouldn't have the means to drive it. But it's going to be screw cut. And again, with what I put through the bore, or the bore in here I should say, I haven't got M24 by 1.5 pitch tap. So yeah, I'm going to have to screw cut that as well. So where do we start? Let's do the OD, do the simple one. Or should we do the inside? Let's do the OD first. So, using my not very good eyes at my age, I'm measuring across the peaks of 2 threads. I'm getting what appears to be 3 mil, 3.06, 3 mil. So, it's 1.5 mil pitch for the OD and the ID. So that's happy. We're not changing over the gears and what have you. So 1.5 mil pitch for both threads. So we've got an M40 by 1.5 external, M24 by 1.5 internal. So we'll set the gears up for 1.5 mil pitch. So I'm going to hand wind this. I'm going to put some, not Sharpie, but black magic marker pen on here so I can see what I'm doing. Well, I would if it won't run out of ink. Hang on, how bad is it? Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think I got a bit of oil on there. We'll give it a wipe off. Might stand a fighting chance with that oil on there. Let's try that. That's sticking better. I think we're going to take the drive belt off the far end to stop that noise when I'm hand winding it. So I think it's a 13 spanner. What have I got here? A 14. Right, okay. 13 in the rack right beside me. Just loosen the drive motor off. Try not to hit my head on the camera, which I think I just did. Pop the belt off. Let's have a look. That's better. Doesn't make any noise now. Right, so turning tool. I've got a 60-degree triangular turning tool. Obviously it's a triangle, so it's 60 degrees on each angle, which is the thread form for metric. It's one of my aluminium turning tools. It's got a very small tip, and I've just, up to the light, up to the bulb, tried it in the thread, in the form, and the radius on the end looks about perfect. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a standard carbide turning tool. So I've verified my pitch. I'm winding in 0.1 at a time. Hand cutting. So back out, I'm going to run a spring pass on that 0.3. So I'm into 0.3 of side depth. Am I? I would be, that was minus 0.3. Okay, as you can see, it's only 3 or 4 threads. Let me have a look. I can still see good amount of black on the top. I think about 0.4 we'll do next. 0.42, that's fine. Just have a bit of spray just to help things. I could do this under power, but why not remove the drama? I'm going to do that cut again. It only takes a moment. It's only a short thread. If it was a long thread, I'd do it under power feed, but you know. So I think I'm getting very close. I'm going to have to get my big glasses on now to have a look and see how this thread looks. Let me bring you in a bit. Can I bring you in close enough? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you off the tripod. I'm going to bring you round into view and try and get a view of this cutting while I'm winding the handle. So things might get a bit shaky. That was 0.42. Where are we? Okay, let's get you somewhere near. Right, okay. That's a good spot. So I'm engaged on the feed. I'll wind the handle. And stop. So there you can see, it's so simple. I've just got a little bit of peak left. I think I'm going to need probably another maybe 0.05 of cut just to thin that down, and then we'll blend the top radius in probably with a needle file, and the job will be done. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see, the thread is forming nicely now. So obviously this isn't very visible, but I will bring you around the other side. I've got a boring bar set over to set exactly the same tip in the boring bar at exactly the same angle, dead square on, to do the internal thread. So I know I can go into a depth of 14 by winding the handle again, 13 mil, sorry. So yeah, I'm winding in, generally cutting in, going in till I get to 13, there, wind off, just below my 0. Okay, another cut, go into 0.3 depth. Okay, I'll bring you around the other side in a second so you can see. So I'm trying to hold the camera as steady as possible. Here we go. Into my depth of 13 mil. Remove the cut. You can probably see me moving across, and then reverse out. It's coming out with the tip removed from the cut. All clear. So I'll keep going now. Oh, where are we? Let's get rid of that. You can see the tip. Keep going until I get to my nominal thread depth. Well, that's the internal thread finished, the external thread finished. I haven't got any gauges, not much I can do, but I've just gone to the nominals. Now I've gone 0.1 deeper on both threads on OD. This is an adapter for a filter on a fish tank water pump. That's what it is. If it leaks, it doesn't matter, it's underwater. It's a vacuum, it'll suck water from outside or inside. It does not matter a hoot. So if the thread's a little bit loose, not an issue. So let me just see, parting off 3mm on there. So I'm going to give it a nominal 3. I'm just going to line myself up. Can I do it? That's close. Line myself up on the front face. Come back 3mm. I'm going to come back 3.5. So as you can see, parting it off very simply. To do with a little bit of WD-40, I think, before I start to get a bit of pickup on the tool. Look, I've set that gear train a little tight. I'd normally release the banjo. Yeah, let me release the banjo from the back end before I finish parting off. So I'm completely parting it off. I went down to within about 1mm of where I thought it was going to fall, and then I moved across the 0.2 and took a final scratch. I mean, it's not a perfect finish, but yeah, it's better than your normal parting finish. Just put a little lead in on the thread there on that side. Little chamfer on that side as well. Looking good, looking good. I think we have it. Yeah, maybe a bit more leading on the front edge. I do love this new no-gut deburring tool. It's epic. Well, here we are. Flow, you know who you are. That's the part made. Yeah, probably took me start to finish. If I wasn't videoing, probably about 20 minutes start to finish. So that's the part. Matches up to the old one. Correct thread on the OD. The new thread on the inside, as you can see, I've not bored it out like that one because we didn't want a little thin bit of thread. Otherwise we could have used this one, just bored that out and screw cut the inside. So job's a good one. So as usual, got to do the sign off. So there's the two bits. That's the piece that's needed. That was the original or a sample part. Yeah, happy it's turned out. All in all, 20 minutes work. Happy days. So I do promise that the power feed install will be coming along very shortly. I'm a little bit high for the camera here. It's easier for me to go down like this than it is to tip the camera up and cut this shot. So I go down like this or stand a bit further away. Perhaps that's easier. Anyway, I do promise that the power feed install next part, I think part 4, will be coming very soon. As I said at the beginning of this video, I'm back to work. I've been absolutely cream crackered by the time I come home from work and literally haven't wanted to come into the workshop at all, but I'm back on it now. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and we will see you all very soon. Cheers now.